Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video, and today I'm reviewing the Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels, a very good TV show that is based around the Star Wars franchise, of course, during the sort of Rebels and the Empire and whatnot. This figure comes with a collect and build piece, which, to be fair, I don't really see the point in these. Personally, as a collector-y person of sorts, I just see them as junk most of the time. To be fair, the Doctor Who ones weren't too bad, but these Star Wars ones are just utter garbage in my opinion. I mean, if you're a little kid, then yeah, it's probably really fun, but usually they end up building something that you tack on to a figure and then makes it top heavy and then just topple over on the shelf. This is the Inquisitor. The main actual good accessory it comes with is obviously his double-bladed lightsaber, which is very nicely done with the red on both sides. And then obviously the centerpiece being the disc, and then the center bit where you can actually grip it. And that, so instead of like Darth Maul's where it's just literally that one continuous staff like stick, it's also got these, like, so it could in the show spin around and be more threatening, so it can, like, the like part can like spin around the disc at the sides and stuff, and makes it really cool. The Inquisitor as a figure for articulation, it's very poor. I mean, it's about the same size as a 3.75-inch figure, or a bit taller than most of the Doctor Who ones, and it retails for £9.97 or something, nearly 10 quid, which is quite extortionate really for what it is. I think the only reason why they get away with it is because it's a Star Wars brand, whereas the Doctor Who mini figures or mini action figures that are about this size are £6.99, mainly because Doctor Who is Doctor Who, really, you know, not as big a brand really, which I'm kind of glad in that respect, because, you know, so his legs can go out and in and stuff, and he can, like, you know, bend back and that, so he could dodge like bullets or like a lightsaber thrown at him. He could be like, what? And go back. His bulbousy head of sorts moves side to side, but because of the collar bit on his neck, that doesn't have much articulation. No shoulder, elbow, no real articulation. All of the arm is just one big solid piece. All of the arm is just one big solid piece. Like, there's no point of articulation there. You know, like, you can't move it out to the sides at all. You know, like, look. Like, yeah, you can't move it to the sides at all, like, without really sort of damaging the figure itself. And there's no hand articulation at all either. So it's just moulded in this sort of gun pose, which is a bit dumb as well. Detail-wise, it makes up for a lot of the lack of articulation. It is one of those figures where it obviously has poor, very poor articulation, but very good or decent, above average detail. The feet and the legs, again, are all just one massive mould, so all of the leg is just one mould. Like, there's no knee or boot, lower boot or foot articulation either. Again, just all one big mould. You know, you've got the sort of main sort of black panel slash armour there. In the centre, you've got that red bit. On the sides, you've got the Imperial emblem on both sides of the black armour, like shoulder pads, and then you've got elbow. Well, and then you've got the elbow ones down at its elbows, of course. You've got the rest at the back and stuff. Head detail is very nice. You know, you've got the sort of red parts on the white head where it needs to be red and stuff. You know, it is a decent figure, but again, it's very small. It's I don't know, unless you're a big Star Wars fan, I think you should get this if you're a big Star Wars fan. But if you're if you like me, you might want to miss this one. I don't know. I mean, I do like this figure, and I think it's a decent action figure, but I don't think it's the best. I think the articulation is very, very poor for what it is. You know, for how much you're paying for it, I expect a much more articulated figure. Personally, I think it's very poor slash you know, poor slash lower than obviously average or it's not above average, it's poor really, the articulation anyway. The detail is slightly above average, I would say, and it does look like what it's imitating / representing in figure form. But again, I think if it was a bigger action figure, it would just look better, and there'd be more to look at and more to cover, more of a plastic mold to cover, like the emblems would look neater and bigger and better, and stuff, and generally as well, like the arms and the hands, the hands don't really have any articulation, or they're not even sculpted rightly to put the lightsaber blade in his hands really that easily. Like this, putting this in his hands is not the easiest of tasks, which is a shame really. And considering this line of action figures may be more aimed at younger kids than adult collectors and teens like myself, I think it would have been a lot better if there was more articulation or more movability in the figure, because that's what kids want. They want to play with the figure, whereas if it was a big action figure but with barely any articulation, then that'd be fine, because guess what, the detail would be there. Not that the detail isn't here with this figure, but as I say, it's just there, but it's like, because it's downscaled, and that for this little figure, which is again a shame really. But yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, rate and subscribe. What would I give this figure out of 10? I would give it a well-earned 6 out of 10. It's just above average. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate and subscribe.